Hello everyone and welcome to another Skaredcast tournament in review. Today I get to go to a tournament with my Dark Eldar running triple tantalus, which is a Forge World model that not a lot of people use. I'm really excited to show you what happens. Plus, I'm playing only witches. Let's begin.
The Dark King.
Hello and welcome to another tournament in review. This is Skari, well me, and let's go over the list. Then we're going to go to a tournament. I'm going to play 4 rounds of Warhammer 40,000 with a pure Witch Cult list. It is the old edition. However, this format is something I'm going to be using a lot in the new edition as I build, develop, create list concepts, and I take them to events all over the world. So sit tight. It's a great way to learn things about building a list, developing, thought process, that sort of thing. And I hope you learn something today. Let's go through the list, go through my initial thoughts, go to the event, then come back to the studio and break it all down. So here is the army in all its glory. Look at that. It looks so cool. Let's break it down because I'm really pumped and excited to play with all this stuff. So here we have 2,000 points of Witch Cult. Now, the list itself will be in the link down below in either the comments or the description. So if you want to just take a look, give yourself inspiration, sure. This is like the kind of like way that I built the list. Now, I'm very, very happy that the Tantalus did not go into Legends. The old Reaper, F in the comments or the chat for Reaper, because I have 2 of them and they're going to go Legends. That's well, let's show you a Reaper. This is a Forge World Reaper. I'm so sad that they're going to be Legends. Time to break the list down in detail. It is a single Arcs of Omen detachment led by a Succubus Warlord with the Triptych Whip and Precision Blows, a second Succubus with the Blood Glaive and a Blast Pistol, Quicksilver Fighter. Now I'm running Witch Cult of the Red Grief, which gives me reroll charges and +2 to my advanced rolls. Fantastic for a full Witch Cult list. That reroll charges comes into play more often than I can say, really. I am using fast attacks for my main Arcs of Omen detachment, sort of like build. So I've got 3 Reaver Jet Bikes with a Heat Lance, 8 Hellions, 3 Reaver Jet Bikes with a Heat Lance, and then 8 more Hellions. They're like the meat and potatoes damage dealers of the list. The Hellions are, and then the Reaver Jet Bikes are great for objective scoring, like behind enemy lines and things like that. You can't have witches without a good core of troops. So we've got 10 Blood Brides. They've been upgraded to Blood Brides. Then we have 5 units of 5 witches. They're designed to just go around, deny primary scoring, kill little support units, and get me secondary points like retrieve battlefield data. And then a 10 strong unit of witches as well. So 2 big blocks of witches and then 5 smaller blocks. Anybody who's been following the list development knows there are no beasts, because I took the beasts out and added the second unit of Hellions. I'm very excited to see how that works, because it really adds the damage value to the list, like very, very high. So very, very big damage value. Then we've got 6 Mandrakes in the elite slot just for secondary, basically scoring and screening for pre-game moves and things like that. The 2 Venoms, that's it. And then the meat and potatoes of the list, 3 Tantalus, which, by the way, is only 660 points of the list. So it's not a lot of the list, but they're like a big part of the list. There you have it, 2,000 points. So let's go to the event and see how we do. 4 rounds. So how do you think I'm going to do with this list? It is sort of like a meme in the sense that it's 3 Tantalus and only witches and mandrakes. But I'm very excited to see how it works. No matter what the result, I feel I have already won because I'm playing triple Tantalus. Let's take a look at the games. And we're here, round number 1. And I, of course, brought the triple Tantalus. We're playing Tear Down Their Icons. I'm playing against Grey Knights. I won the roll to go first. He's doing some pre-game moves and redeploys and stuff, knowing that I'm going first. I took Abhor the Witch, because I'm playing Grey Knights. I took Retrieve Battlefield Data, because that's what Dark Eldar do. And I also took Behind Enemy Lines, which is kind of how that works. So, 4 rounds here at X Planet. Let's go and do this.
That's the end of the game. So I was able to win 86 to 59. I was able to just deny all of the points. But in true fashion, the triple tantalus list, at the end of the game, I'm left with 3 models. That is 3 mandrakes, and that's it. Everything else is dead. And Drago was still alive, a couple of Grandmaster Dread Knights were still alive, a Dreadnought and a Razorback were still alive. All in all, the list did what it does, which is deny a bunch of points and die while doing so. So with that, that's round number 1. On to round number 2. Let's have a break. That was really fun. I enjoyed that. I'm gonna miss playing this style of game moving into the new edition. And here I am, turn number 2. I get to play against Sisters of Battle. Look at that, 3 Castigators and a bunch of Sisters and Vol and a bazillion, 27 Zephyrim and a bunch of Novitiates. Just lots and lots of stuff. So very, very excited about this game. We're playing Conversion. I take them alive behind enemy lines and retrieve battlefield data. And against Shrine, which will be one of these 4 objectives, Faith and retrieve battlefield data as well, which will be exciting. Okay, so with that, let's dive in to the game. Wish me luck, round number 2, and then we get to eat food. But this is going to be interesting. Normally I have like my more traditional. It's the first time playing against Sisters with this list, so I'm very excited to see how it feels, especially because we'll be going to the team event, and I believe this army will be there as well, which is awesome. I love practice. And there we go, end of the round. Man, these Castigators actually killed a bunch of Dark Eldar. I made one mistake on turn 2 that ended up costing me, and I ran out of stuff. I got completely tabled, and because I went first, the Sister Battle were able to get a final, look at how many points they got on the final turn. Just all of their points, which means it was a 90 to 67 point loss. So very, very close game, but very fun game. I really enjoyed that. It was actually very tightly fought. Okay, so with that, 1-on-1. Of course, I'm playing with the memes, so it's not my actual list, which is fun. So good way to finish 9th edition. I did already. It was the first thing I showed them. And with that, on to lunch and round number 3. But I learned a lot, actually. Note to self, keep yourself a CP so you can bounce into your Tantaluses with your Witches with Red Grief. Just bounce back and forth. That would have changed the game. Instead of losing both of my 10 strong units in one turn, I would have lost 1, and the Blood Brides would have stayed alive, which would have had a huge impact on the rest of the game. All right, with that, on to round 2. Well, now we're on to round number 3, and I finally get to play Paul, who has been, we've been at the same events for years, and we've never actually gotten to play. And he's running his really cool, super sort of converted greater demon with LEDs and oh my goodness, it's just fantastic. Look at this. There's like a Nurgle beast with a big violin and a little, they got little bells and stuff. That's really cool. Look at that. Yeah, that's awesome. So round number 3, we don't know who's going first yet. I took no prisoners because there's lots of wounds to chew through. I took behind enemy lines because I'm Dark Eldar, and I took retrieve data because I'm also elves. And Paul ended up taking the Reality Revels, Banners, because we are playing Tide of Conviction, so there's a decent amount of objectives nearby, and Warp Ritual as well. So with that, let's dive into the game. We'll be back when it's done, but it's really relaxing. Is it your last event of night? Probably, yeah. So this is my second to last event of the old edition. We're just having a good time. Let's rock and roll. End of round number 3. I did end up winning that game. I was able to... My Hellions rolled the best drugs. They rolled +1 strength, +1 attack, and then I just doubled it up whenever I could, and they just ran in with so many attacks at strength 6. They just murdered everything. So this was the game of the Hellions, the victory for the Dark Eldar. And now I get to play into Votann, which I'm really excited about. Okay, round number 4. And it's the last round. I get to play the coolest Votann ever. Look at this, this is so awesome. And I was able to basically make a line where if the Votann go first, they can't shoot anything. Maybe if they pre-game move or something, but these mandrakes are stopping them from getting all sneaky into this deployment zone. We're allowed to do this with crates in this tournament, which is awesome. So I've decided I made a little, it's my little anti-deep striking, fun stuff over there. As for secondaries, I picked take them alive, behind enemy lines, and retrieve battlefield data. So I'm gonna have to get aggressive anyway. There's nothing I can do about it. And then the Votann have taken grind, claim, which then we have to put 3 objectives down and bring it down because we might as well kill a bunch of transports. So with that, this is the moment. Lionel's excited. He's watching. Because he can't actually do anything on turn 1. I want him to go first because that would be great for last turn for claim their ground or whatever. So roll low, but dice. Roll low. No, what's that?
6.
Yes! Yes! Weird, crazy, Skaven dice. They're at it again. Okay, so with that, it is turn number 1 for the Votan. Have a great game, sir. And we'll rock and roll. Round number 4. Well, that is the end of the game. Victory for the Dark Eldar. I was able to really just stop the Votan from scoring primary, basically, for like almost the entire game, and I just bossed all the primary. And I was able to just pin the Votan in their zone with like my fast movement, especially since the Votan had a 1 turn where they didn't do anything because other than kill some Mandrakes. Yeah, that actually was a big deal because it meant the Votan had 4 shooting phases with the big beasts, and with 1 more shooting phase, I only have like 10, like a couple of toughness 3 models that would have all just died with 1 more shooting phase. So that was very, very close. So that is 3 victories, 1 loss. And now let's go back to the studio and take a look at the army because there's 1 more team event happening in a couple of weeks. And this is basically the army I'm going to be taking. It was great to practice it. And it's awesome, but I can't wait for 10th. 10th is just going to be exciting, so stay tuned for all of that. Thanks for the game. That was really fun.
Good game.
Yeah. You were on Mini Wargaming on the first game of the Super Campaign.
I am.
And that was really cool.
Play it. It's great.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. Okay, so with that, you're going to be in Sudbury too, so that'll be fun. Okay, let's go back to the studio.
We're back in the studio. That's right. How did you like those games? I had an absolute blast. So, we're going to go through the list, and after that, I'm going to go tell you like how I ended up at the tournament because it was quite good. And I've got a question for all of you, so make sure you stay tuned for that because I'd love to know what you think and leave a comment for me after I'm going to ask you something, so stay tuned because it has to do with this list. Let's go over the list and what I liked and what I didn't like and what I would change. So I really liked the succubuses. They do most of the work on the list. The Hellion units were fantastic. I'm very happy that I brought that 2nd unit of Hellions. And then, of course, having that 5th unit of small witches was very, very good. Honestly, I feel like I've reached the point with this particular list that I did with my full Cabal Fear build list that was all about Phantasm grenade launchers and things like that I played for 20 or 30 games or something crazy. And this was a lot faster, mainly because it's such a skew list and I can't really change too much in the list without kind of changing the whole concept. The Blood Brides are great. I'm starting to learn how to use them after like 10 games now. I think I don't need the Chardonnette and Impaler. It rarely comes into play because they usually just all die anyway. So that's like 10 points I could use in the list somewhere, but I don't really know where I'd put them. Maybe some Grizzly trophies on the Venoms or some chain snares on the Venoms. But other than that, like there's not really any place that I would tweak any part of the list. So here's the question for you all. I have 1 more event to run this list in. I'm not going to change anything. This is the list I'm taking to the Grinning Demon Prime, which is a team tournament that is happening in a few weeks, which I'm really, really excited about. So the question is, 10th edition is just around the corner. As of watching this video, the Drukhari pre-release faction focus is going to be tomorrow. I'm really excited about doing all that stuff and giving you folks a full rundown of the list itself and all the changes. So, let me know, what sort of list do you think you'd like me to play at the start of 10th edition? Do you want me to play full Wych Cult? Do you want me to play a mix, Cabal? Are there any units you'd like me to try? Because there's one thing that I do is when I am learning a new faction or learning a new edition, I like to physically put things on the table. There's very little theory crafting here on Skaredcast. I will actually go out and test everything and every possible permutation and combination on the table to make sure that when I bring you the facts and the thoughts, it is from experience and not just theory crafting. Well, that's it. Thanks all for watching, everyone. And there you have it, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Of course, a huge shout out to the channel Patreons. The Denizen community is the reason I get to do videos. So if you'd like to support the channel, join the Denizen community today, get access to bonus videos, get access to bonus content, a Discord where we all hang out, as well as some awesome community vibes. The link is in the description. Hop on. There are 4 different tiers. Anything from $3 a month so you can support what I do and buy me a coffee, all the way to $100 a month where I get to personally coach you how to play 40k or fantasy or Necromunda or whatever, really. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next video. I'm Skari, your grateful host. Signing off until next time. Skari out. The Dark Kin. Bye, everyone.